In short, we need a great reset. In short, we need a great reset.
Hey guys, Kevin Cage back with another cryptocurrency update. Welcome to the channel. Like and subscribe if you're serious about investing in the digital asset space. And let's get right into it today. One take and uncut. As you can see, straight from the World Economic Forum. Again, this is a video shared by XRP Chiz. And basically what we talked about in the previous video, if not seen already, is this talk in this vernacular now that they have been using but are actually publishing it now more so, the Great Reset. Now this 2-minute video again, I gotta retweet it. Apologies. I do recommend watching this. The 2-minute clip, they're talking about financial inclusion. They're saying the systems do not fit anymore for the 21st century. We need equality, all of this. And this is a historical moment way beyond just finance, way beyond XRP and digital assets. I know primarily that's what we cover on this channel. You know, my heart goes to everyone, or goes out to everyone affected by this in every way. Obviously I can't, begin to imagine, but let me just say I understand. I do not understand. So just want to say, give a shout out and check this video clip out. Again, we have, Antonio Gutierrez, excuse me. We have Kristina Georgieva of the International Monetary Fund. All of these people are coming together and showing us exactly what we've known on this channel all along. All right. And many other people in the XRP community specifically. So to kick things off, shared by Crypto Whale, don't you find it odd that the top billionaires all around the world, guys, all conveniently sold at all-time highs in 2019 to 2020 during, when the Dow Jones was at historical highs? And I know some of you will say, oh no, it's just by chance. Now, if you really do believe that, that's complete and utter ignorance. You understand that market capitalization is fairy dust, and of course it's not even an accurate metric for the cryptocurrency market specifically. They will come up with new indices or metrics specifically regarding price discovery and allowing it hopefully in better liquidity metrics as well. So right now during this global pandemic, chaos, etc., so we know Bill Gates leaves Microsoft board, sells $8 billion in share. Bezos conveniently selling nearly $4.1 billion worth of Amazon shares in the past 11 days. You know he's buying it back or reallocating it somewhere before that dip came. You got Apple CEO selling $55 million. Warren Buffett, $128 billion in cash, waiting on the sidelines. Why do they do this, guys? Because they knew a drop was coming, or at least a correction. This is how the game is played. If you don't think that the wealthy are well connected, I don't know what to tell you. All right, quantitative easing, everything is ridiculous. Unemployment is higher than it's ever been. We have riots in the street where I'm at. It's a complete joke. And you are seeing the stocks or the Dow Jones Industrial Index going up a few hundred points in a day. That does not make any sense. Understand that. The market doesn't make sense. And guess what? There's more things to come. All right, so to kick things off, first saw this by Mbiagi, so thank you for sharing this. The Federal Reserve kicks Fedwires, and again, Fedwire is the real-time gross settlement system of the U.S., and their ISO 20022 down the road. Now, we hear this time and time again. They're always pushing back, okay? Now, I'm just going to say 222 for this, type of framework messaging standard. And again, Martin Volk has a great thread. I'll kind of go through it briefly, but again, I recommend following this gent and following this. Oh, got to retweet this as well. Got to retweet the guys for sharing. Okay, so right here, what is ISO 222? It's a single standardization approach, methodology, process, repository to be used by all financial standards initiatives. Now, remember what's big about this, and again, talking about SWIFT, we're going to speed through this, so stick with me here. Talking about Fedwire, again, the real-time gross settlement system. We talk about high value between countries and settlements, okay? Continuous link settlements. CLS is a huge part of this, connected to Finastro. We already know all of this. We talk about this. Please see the 400 videos as well on this channel. All right, you can see ISO in their registration management group members list. And again, I love that he says this. SWIFT, they're not ready. Clearly, Fedwire, not ready, pushing things back. So many are not ready, but Ripple is, and they are actually the only group announced on this management group. Pay close attention. And no, again, on XRParcade.com, they're sharing it as well when it came out earlier last month in May. Ripple joins the ISO 222 standards body. This is the first member focused on DLT. Now, they're actually being represented, as we'll share with you. Now, XRP Arcade showing this. You can see the groups, you can see who's here. We have RippleNet, of course, and then it's represented by these people that we've talked about. We've never really mentioned Anthony Ralphs, to my knowledge. We've talked about Marcus Treacher a bunch, and Jeremy Light. Guys, Jeremy Light, strategic accounts, or EU, European Union strategic accounts, has had many consulting roles. high positions even in Accenture, a RippleNet partner that's kind of helping them with, drive the digital transformation per se, and helping a lot of groups. Accenture's helping R3 with DLT, Swift, etc. And this is why I believe it has been planned all along. Accenture is one of the first investors in Ripple. Okay, helping that digital transformation. He's talked about it. We've shown some very, very interesting documents with Jeremy Light, back in the day, pre-Ripple as well. Okay, so we'll kind of go through this again. Ripple being represented by Marcus Treacher, SVP, Customer Success. Gentleman has a background in the board of directors for Swift, years with even, HSBC. And again, as I said, Jeremy Light, VP of European Union Strategic Accounts, and then Anthony Ralphs, Product Manager. It's just all staring right in front of you. We can even go through some of these with, Nacha, MasterCard, DTCC, CFTC, draw connections to them as well. Euroclear, Clearstream, it's Bank of England. I mean, come on, guys. How much more obvious can it get? Okay. And then you can go right here to the isowebsite.org. And again, you can see it for yourselves. We have 3 representatives for RippleNet. Understand, RippleNet used to be called the Global Payments Steering Group, former president of the DTCC, basically the most qualified person in the world to manage. And of course, he managed $1.85 trillion, or quadrillion, 1.85 quadrillion with a Q per year in settlements for the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation. This speaks levels, and I guess just people want to, stay myopic with this, but just remember, this is all right in front of you. Don't call anyone lucky when they're in the digital asset space. There's going to be many, many winners besides XRP, and none of this is financial advice. I'm just showing you a few obvious dot connections. Okay, even right here back in the day, July 2015, Accenture's Jeremy Light, before he was with Ripple. The future of payments is real. And again, just talking in depth about this, you guys can feel free to read this again. And again, he says right here, probably the hottest topic in Europe, if not globally, and keep in mind this is years ago, is real-time payments for Euro Banking Association. That logo we've seen with the pyramid and the stars. So is the European Central Bank, ECB. Remember, Christine Lagarde is now the president. Huge advocate for Ripple and DLT specifically, talking about all of the things that we've talked about and that they mention in this video, shaking the system. They say this in quotes. It is hilarious how, these talking points are the same throughout this industry with all these high-tiered people, not only in, regulatory environments, but we're talking governments, other financial institutions, and even the private side as well. Okay, R3, Ripple, etc. R3, they cannot discuss Ripple. There are NDAs. Why? Okay, why was there a lawsuit for R3 to get 5 billion XRP and they still wanted it at that discount? It's not the dump on the market, guys. They are a real company. I mean, backed. They're kind of the Wall Street boys getting the slice of the pie for trade finance, already partnering with some of the biggest cloud providers and guys in trade finance to help utilize DLT for applications. XRP is the only digital asset named to be actually, able to settle with their Corda permissioned system. But again, you have to understand that it's agnostic as well. I just wanted to mention that they did mention using XRP. Why did they settle or want to argue for 5 billion? Did they get all 5 billion? It's not disclosed. Makes you wonder. All right, next up, and just to finish things off briefly here, so DJ Peter Voss, thank you for sharing this. So Swiss Watchdog greenlights crypto usage for local banks. Just to skim through this again, good news, a one-stop business to business Swiss transaction bank Incor Bank has announced it's received permission from the Swiss Financial Markets Supervisory Authority, FINMA, to trade, hold, transfer, and generate, aka tokenized digital assets. Guys, go to securitizewithaz.com and you guys can see how fast these websites and applications and companies are being built to allow to bridge from the traditional markets to, again, these traditional legacy markets to this current tokenized market. Simply a matter of time. When that bridge occurs and the integration, that bridge to the newer technology occurs, we will see this type of Cambrian explosion, okay? And obviously, I'm not, it doesn't happen overnight, and it hasn't happened overnight. But when you look back, even the past 2, 3, 4 years, it is absolutely unbelievable. The dominoes are falling. The snowball is coming down the hill, getting bigger and bigger. The momentum is ever growing. All right. Notice that he says this as well. This while maintaining our customary safety standards. This is how we bridge to traditional asset classes. Interesting. Okay, expansion of this new asset class at a stroke without the need to invest in infrastructure and new processes. Okay, working on bridges so these groups don't have to build all of that infrastructure. Remember, governments do not innovate, they adopt, they find private companies that are doing great things, and they just, adopt that technology, period. All right. So DLT is obviously a big push. Well over 50% of the banks are already utilizing and experimenting on DLT. When you go back, you can see even experiments dating back to 2016 with the DTCC. These are behemoths in the industry. Okay, do your own research, connect the dots, but just understand we are at the very beginning. Okay. Next up, Ant1. So sharing this, Ripple and Money Match offer free remittance service to India. So we know Money Match, as we can see here, runs on Ripple. We can kind of see more and more of this happening. Again, this was June 3rd, 2020. We're seeing more information like this on a daily basis. Even ZenPay, I'm going to say ZenPay, declared it collaborated with Ripple to offer UK workers costless transaction services during this period to ease the pressure on the people during this type of pandemic and the global liquidity crisis. Velocity of money is an issue. 2008, it was the same issue, but it seemed that they may have not known where they were going. And it seems that things will repeat, but I believe that there has been a plan all along, and that we're not just, going with no end in sight. I think that they've had this planned, and they're taking advantage of this plandemic. Okay? And that's just my opinion. Don't be upset by that, please. All right. I was just looking at this gentleman, Secretary General of the UN as well. Remember, watch the UN, the AIIB, the Asian Development Bank, HSBC, a lot of these groups we've been telling you, okay? Temenos, SAP, Task Group, R3, Finastra, they all have ties to Ripple. And again, Ripple said XRP literally is their baby. Secret sauce is IOP and XRP in tandem to work together. We've shown the documents, okay? Now, lastly, just as like a safety thing, guys, understand this, okay? I'm not selling you anything here. Just do your own research. But if you have $10 million, for example, you most likely do not have one bank account, because we understand how much each bank account is insured. Obviously, you want ways to diversify this holding. Some people, actually have an investment portfolio, and go into, gold. Some go into real estate. Some go, to some stocks and different index funds. But bottom line is you diversify these, this money. So why would you keep all of your assets, your XRP, your Ethereum, your Tezos, your VeChain, you name it, on a single cold wallet or a single exchange? In my opinion, that's foolish. And as I say in every video, diversify your assets. Of course, you can invest in others. Maybe you can invest more in one if you like it more. That's fine. But you got to hedge your bet. And then also with storage, don't just leave all your assets on one exchange. Have multiple exchanges. Obviously, I don't want to leave a lot of money on any exchange for that matter. And then for storage, there's hot wallets, there's cold wallets, there's Ledger Nanos, which I love and they're convenient, and then you can also do paper wallets as well. Now there's benefits, there's pros and cons to each and every one. My advice, and I literally have all of them because I want to scatter all my digital assets a little, in little places and keep them for myself. Tell your family where they are, tell someone so that, they're not lost forever if something ever happens to you. Obviously we have to learn from this because we heard what happened with Matthew Mellon, who had roughly, it turned into like $1 billion worth of XRP before he passed away. I personally believe that they have it and it was accounted for, but that's none of our business. All right. So with that, guys, hopefully that makes some sense. Let me know your thoughts down below. I appreciate all of you that like this video, share it around, and I will see you in the next one.